right, good morning, Miss Underwood. Thank you so much. So this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Florence Ellen Hamill, file number 2020-19869 FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Ms. Hamill. Ms. Hamill is appearing via Zoom from Williams County, Ohio. Is that correct, Ms. Hamill?
Yes.
All right, so, okay, so we were here, I believe, like a week or two ago, and for some reason, we weren't able to get Miss Hamill, so she is present today. Miss Underwood, would you like a breakout room with her?
No, I don't believe you. So, Your Honor, I believe, Ms. Hamill, also, could I speak to Ms. Walsh for just a second? Or,
Okay.
yeah, it might be quicker just.
No, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room. I got time yet. She's the only 8 o'clock I had. So let me open up a ton of breakout rooms. And, okay, so Miss Underwood and Miss Walsh, go ahead and join that breakout room. All right, that's quick. So, Miss Underwood, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I spoke with both Ms. Walsh and Ms. Hamill yesterday, and again with Ms. Walsh this morning. And I believe Ms. Hamill wishes to enter a plea to this violation.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Hamill, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you state your full name for the record, please?
Florence Ellen Hamill.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Hamill, just to go over this again, we're here on violation of probation hearing today. And the allegations against you are that you violated the terms of your probation and that you tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamines on April 13th of 2022, that you failed to pay any money towards restitution as ordered at sentencing, and that you failed to make any payments for court costs ordered at the time of sentencing. You're currently on probation for attempted uttering and publishing, which carries a maximum penalty of, gosh, what is it? 5 years? No. What's the max penalty on this, Jen Walsh?
It is 2.5 years.
2.5 years on an attempted. So do you understand if you plead guilty or found guilty, ma'am, you could be facing up to 2.5 years in prison? Say that again. Sometimes the rooms we're in have bad audio. So could you say that again?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let me get to your information. Looking for the amended information from the people. And I'm not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? Typically, we post on that. There we go. Okay, so ma'am, are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that she's given you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you understand that you do have a right to contest the violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it?
Yes.
Do you understand throughout the trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your attorney ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at that trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
Do you understand that you do not have to testify at your trial and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way? Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
So, ma'am, how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by testing positive for methamphetamine and amphetamines on or about April 13th of 2022? Guilty or
Not
not
guilty.
guilty?
I've never been charged with drugs.
The violation is for testing positive for methamphetamine on a drug screen. It's not a violation for being charged with a drug case, just that you tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamines. So how do you plead to that charge? Guilty or not guilty?
I don't know.
Okay, all right, Ms. Underwood, would you like a minute to talk to her?
Sure, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna put you two in a breakout. Ms. Espinoza, you wanna come up to the podium and we will, Mr. Glazier popped in, so we'll take care of that. All right, so Ms. Hamel, I'm gonna put you and Ms. Underwood into a breakout room. Oh, well, I've lost you, Ms. Underwood. So hold on. Oh, I gotta move you from that. All right, so hold on. All right, so Ms. Underwood, I'm gonna put you and Ms. Hamel into a breakout room. Go ahead and click on join that breakout room, Ms. Hamel. Ms. Hamel, if you have a mouse there, you need to use the mouse. Well, you need to go ask someone there to put you into that breakout room. Oh, she went, okay. I want to stand at the podium.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's okay, we just, that way Mr. Glazier can hear you. Let me get, all right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Crystal Marie Espinoza. Ms. Espinoza is represented by John Glazier, who is appearing via Zoom, and we have Phoebe Meir on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Glazier, this is a date and time set for arraignment. How do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, we'd waive the reading of the information, acknowledge receipt of that, as well as the attached witness list and prosecutor's request for discovery. At this time, she's going to enter a plea of not guilty and ask the matter be set for pretrial. I know she tried to set up a couple of appointments to see me and they fell apart. So we don't need a pretrial too far out. I just need to talk to her in my office.
My next available is July 5. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. Espinoza, I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, and I'll set another pretrial for July 5 at 8:30 in the morning. Miss Adams, could you print that notice off so we can give Miss Espinoza? a
Judge,
copy
could-
today?
Could we go one more week out on that pretrial?
No, I don't have anything available the next week.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, I actually have a court date that day, don't I?
You what?
I have a court date that day, don't I? I have a court that day, right?
You
may
might
have-
on another,
She may
case,
have
but-
district court stuff, Your Honor.
No, with you.
I don't know. I have hundreds of people. I don't know all your court dates.
Sorry, it's July 5th.
Crystal, when you come in to see me, we'll go over it, but it's probably down in district court. You have 2 misdemeanor files down in district court.
Well, she's got other stuff in front of me. I just don't know the dates on those assessments.
It's okay.
All
Okay,
right?
Okay.
Just check your paperwork, okay? Do you? All right, you're all set.
All right.
Thank you.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Glazier. All right, let's see. I have Ricardo Perez in my waiting room. Does he belong to anybody?
His attorney is Mr. Sala.
Okay. he's not here. All right, so, Miss Adams, if I could get Victor Mendoza from the jail, please. All right, so Miss Hamel and Miss Underwood, have you had a chance to speak now?
Yes,
All right, so Miss Underwood, how do you wish to proceed today?
Miss Hamel wishes to enter the plea, Your Honor.
Okay,
She
so-
misunderstood.
It's okay. So Miss Hamel, we're gonna back up again. So how do you wish to plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by testing positive for methamphetamine and amphetamines on or about April 13th of 2022? Guilty or not guilty?
guilty,
Okay, and how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to pay any money towards restitution as ordered at the time of sentencing on or about July 2nd of 2020?
guilty,
And how do you plead to the charge that you violated the term of your probation by failing to make any payments toward court costs ordered at the time of sentencing on July 2nd of 2020?
guilty,
Okay, now, do you fully understand the charges now after speaking to your attorney?
yes,
Okay, so do you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up your right to a trial? And your, right to a trial, do you understand that?
yes,
Has anything been promised you to get you to plead guilty?
no,
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay. If I accept this plea, you'll be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on record during this hearing, that it was not your own choice to move the plea. Do you understand that?
yes,
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
yes,
Alright, so ma'am, you were placed on probation, sentenced on July 2nd of 2020. And you had several terms of probation. One was that you weren't to use any illegal controlled substances or any controlled substances without a prescription. One of them was that you were to pay money towards restitution during the probation term, and one that you were to pay fines and costs as ordered at the time of sentencing on July 2nd. So you were drug tested back on April 13th of 2022, is that correct?
yes,
And at that time, you tested positive for methamphetamine and amphetamines, is that correct?
yes,
All right. Since July 2nd, have you paid money towards restitution?
No.
Have you paid any money towards your fines and costs?
no,
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights. She does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a probation violation report for
Your Honor,
sentencing.
can I?
Yes,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think I can save us some time. I've spoken with Ms. Walsh, and it's Ms. Walsh's intention, I believe. Ms. Hamel is being sentenced in Ohio on some other charges, Your Honor. And I believe it's Ms. Walsh's intention to simply recommend discharging Ms. Hamel unsuccessfully from probation. So if the court is willing, I believe there would be no objection to waiving the probation violation report and going to sentencing in this matter, Your Honor.
Ms. Walsh, is the probation department able to do that?
Yes, we can. It would be revoked with time served. Time served.
Okay, so Ms. Hamel, you do have a right to have an probation violation report done for sentencing, which gives you an opportunity to speak as well as Ms. Walsh to provide more information. But you can waive that if you would like, and we can sentence you per the recommendation of Ms. Walsh today. So Ms. Hamel, would you like to be sentenced today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything, Ms. Underwood, you'd like to say on your client's behalf before the court passes the sentence?
Just that Ms. Hamel appreciates Ms. Walsh's time and the court's time, Your Honor, and she apologizes for not completing her probation successfully. And hopefully with the program she's going into in Ohio, things will go well for Ms. Hamel. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Hamel, anything you want to say on your own behalf? All right, so Ms. Walsh, the recommendation is credit for time served and revoke and terminate probation unsuccessfully.
Correct.
All right, so Ms. Hamel, I will give you credit for time served and we will revoke and terminate your probation and discharge you as unsuccessful. Ms. Hamel, I wish you the best of luck in Ohio, all right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hamel. You're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good luck, Florence.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Walsh.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, so I have, I'm waiting on Victor Mendoza from the jail, because I have Mr. Goldstein. I had him, where is he? There he is. I have in my waiting room now. Let's see. And, do I have your card? Yeah.
Just got that email, I didn't even think about that.
You see it? Mhm.
Maybe it's not this week. I'm used to them, so.
See what that. All right, so let's see. Oh, Mr. Mendoza, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, let me grab your files. Oops. All right, Mr. Goldstein, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Victor Andres Mendoza, and we have file number 21-20375FH, 21-20469FH, and 21-20658FC. Look, we are. I have Dave Goldstein appearing on behalf of Mr. Mendoza, and I have Douglas Hartung appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Goldstein, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, this matter was on the trial docket at one point. Mr. Hartung and I asked that it be removed while we continue to negotiate and see if we can get all of these matters resolved. We have not gotten them resolved yet. We are still hopeful that will happen, but we're asking the court to set a trial because this file is getting fairly old. We figure it'll be at least a couple of months out, and that gives us an opportunity to continue to negotiate.
All right, would the FC trial go to trial first?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Goldstein?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, so the last time we scheduled it, you would ask for 10 days. Would that still apply?
I'll
I
ask
think
Mr.
that's-
Good,
I think
good.
that's more than needed. I think really a week is what we need there.
Like a week of 5 days or a week of 7 days?
Like a week of 5 days, 4 or 5 days, I think would be sufficient.
Okay. Ms. Adam, I apologize. I'm looking, Mr. Goldstein, this is an older file, so I'm gonna ask for the books so I can see. I know that you're busy until your trial docket, and I have some other things with
You know
you,
the
but
mouse
it,
and touch it. No.
I'm not-
that's
sorry.
It's fine.
Alright, so Mr. Goldstein, I think you're pretty busy until September, is that correct?
Well, for a 5-day trial, yes, Your Honor. I could do a 1 or 2-day trial in that time, but not a 5-day.
All right, when's the next week you're first available?
For a trial of that length, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Just a second, I'm looking. The 20th of, I could do anytime the 20th of August or the week of the 27th of August. Both of those.
So I will be gone. I'll be gone. So I have, let's see, I have, yeah, the last 2 weeks of August are kind of gone.
Your Honor, the week of September, well, September the 6th, no, I'm sorry, September 13th, I have a jury trial in front of you. The non-custody, it's a relatively new case. It's
Alan Crystal.
Yeah, I don't have a problem bumping that.
Okay, so I could start it for, is Brain versus Waltz settled, Mr. Hartung?
It is.
It is?
It is settled.
Would you be able to start on Tuesday, the 12th of September, Mr. Hartung, or Mr. Goldstein?
Yes, Your Honor.
So Brain versus Waltz is settled?
It is settled.
Sweet. All right, so what if we set this starting on Tuesday, September 12th at 9 a.m.? That would be, let's see. And the trial would be file number 21-20658 FC. Now put it in for 5 days. And do you want a final pretrial?
Your Honor, I don't think it's necessary. If either one of us feels we need to get in front of the court, we can always ask the court to schedule a time.
All right, so the trial starts on September 12th. I would ask by September 1. I'm going to set September 1 as a motion deadline, as well as the day for jury instructions and voir dire questions to be handed in. Is that good?
That's fine.
That's fine. Much of that was done on our side already.
Right. Okay. And then the other two files I will set for pretrial that day as well. Is there anything else, Mr. Goldstein, on behalf of Mr. Mendoza, you'd like to address?
Not in these matters. No, not in these matters, Your Honor, no.
Mr.
Thank you.
Hartung?
All set. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Mendoza, thank you, and I will see you back on September 12th, if not sooner, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Mr. Coast?
Can I go?
Yeah, you're all set. All right, Darren Coast.
Good morning, Judge.
Hi, I have Miss Rice here, and I would like her tested today.
Very good, Judge. I'll be right in.
So someone will get and they're gonna do a testing, all right?
I have court downstairs as well.
Which court? Woman or man?
It's not, I don't think it's, I think it's just in room 106 maybe. It says KMO.
Just got a remind. New charges.
Okay. Okay, so that's all right.
We're up here.
Who should we call, Ms. Van Duzen, to let them know she's here?
They don't start till 9 o'clock.
Okay, so. All right. So.
Just to let you know.
Does anybody have Daniel Rosenberg, that would be Myers?
Judge,
Is that you? Okay, do you want to have her brought down? Do you need to talk to her?
I don't, we have a plan.
Okay, I'm glad you have a plan.
All
right.
I think she might be on the sit down.
Right?
Then, Miss Meir, PB Meir,
She's
but I
right
think
there.
she's on the Zoom.
All right, so I have Ricardo Perez. Anybody have Ricardo Perez? No.
That one's Mr. Sala.
Who?
That was Mr. Sala.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Goldstein, do you have another case? Let's see.
Yes, Your Honor, Lisa Hennewald.
Yep, she is not in custody, so let me check this Samsung device to see if it's her. Maybe. Becky, you can, Miss Adams, you can just let the jail know that I can take Mr. Spence.
Okay.
Mr. Ladd. Mr. Dietos. I can just take everybody. All right, I have someone in a car. They're not connected to audio. Hold on. That might be her. Yeah. I do not, Miss Underwood, have anybody from MDOC yet.
I would say that does not bode well, Your Honor.
Well, it happens. Mr. Myers, do you anticipate a plea today?
Yes, Judge.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to connect. Mr. Goldstein, I'm trying to get Ms. Hannah Walt connected. I think it's Ms. Hannah.
Keep saying connecting to audio. She's apparently having, if that's her, she's apparently having a problem.
No, she's been trying, so, no, it didn't connect. I'm gonna send her, I sent her connection information, but I'm also gonna tell her maybe try calling back in.
Not a bad idea.
I like kicking the TV. Sometimes, yeah, try again, it works. Okay. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Danielle Cope Rosenberg, file number 2023-21343FH. Ms. Rosenberg is present in person. I have Sean M. Myers, P78687, appearing on behalf of Ms. Rosenberg, and I have Phoebe Meir, P81059, appearing on behalf of the prosecutor's office. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Myers, how would you like to proceed today?
Judge, last time we were here, we had attempted to put up the on record. I've met with Ms. Rosenberg and Ms. Meir a few times on this. We would like to proceed with the same plea, but under no contest. And I believe Ms. Meir will put the agreement and the factual basis on the record.
All right, so Ms. Meir, I do have a plea agreement form. So is the plea going to be a no contest, count 1, uttering and publishing, and count 2 being dismissed?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so
I believe that there may also be an agreement for the sentencing in this case to track her current sentence, if that's correct, Ms. Meir.
Yeah, we have no objection to a concurrent sentence.
okay. Guilty to 1, 2, and 1 concurrent. All right. All right, Ms. Rosenberg, do you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, so I need you to stand behind the microphone and I need you to speak up so my court reporter can hear you, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
State your full name for the record.
Danielle Cope Rosenberg.
Right, so Ms. Rosenberg, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead no contest to count 1, uttering and publishing, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 14 years of prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and it looks like there may be restitution as well, maybe around 492 or more. Is that correct, Mr. Myers?
I'm not sure of the amount, but that doesn't sound inaccurate, Judge.
Okay, all right. Are you satisfied with Mr. Myers as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
There has been an agreement regarding sentencing, but other than that, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court other than the sentence being concurrent. Is that correct, Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Is that correct, Ms. Meir?
That's correct.
And Ms. Rosenberg, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, Your Honor.
If a guilty or if a no contest plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at a trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I'm giving?
No.
And so if you wish to enter a no contest plea, you would have to say no contest at this question, all right? So how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about September 28th of 2022 in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of uttering and publishing?
No contest.
Okay. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead no contest to this charge? Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty on no contest? Mr. Myers?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Muir?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Rosenberg, other than being sentenced concurrent to your current sentence, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Muir, you were going to place factual basis on the record?
Yes, and at this time, I would just ask Mr. Myers to stipulate to the contents of the police report authored by Madison Township Police Officer David Gentner, and that report number being 22-2043.
Defense so stipulates.
All right, very good.
And Your Honor, within that report, it does in fact state that and give me a second because I do have to jump around a bit. That on September 28th, 2022, Officer Gentner was dispatched to TLC and for subjects passing bad checks. Upon his arrival, he did come into contact with the defendant, Miss Danielle Rosenberg, as well as Hezekiah Hall and Isabella Guessman. At that time, Miss Guessman had an Emma Shaw's driver's license, and she was attempting to pass a check for from Wilkes Agency payable to an Emma Shaw, and she was again using Emma Shaw's driver's license. When the vehicle was searched, there was a notebook found underneath Miss Rosenberg, and in that was Miss Rosenberg's ID and debit cards, but also Miss Emma Shaw's debit cards and a handful of the Wilkes Agency checks. Those checks were in fact fraudulent, and the previous weeks leading up to this September 28th date, those checks had been passed by a number of individuals, including a Marley Bussing and a Macy Wilt. And Miss Bussing did in fact make a statement to Officer Gentner that those fraudulent checks were given to her by Miss Rosenberg and Miss Carly Frank, and that they took them from the lawful owner of those checks, and that account was actually a closed account. So there were a number of checks that were successfully cashed that were given to individuals by Miss Rosenberg, but this one in particular on September 28, 2022 was in the amount of $492. It was check number 0109, written out to an Emma Shaw, signed fraudulently by purported to be a Greg Wilkes, but it was not Greg Wilkes. So some other individual signed that name to the and Ms. Rosenberg did have possession of it prior to it being cashed. And I think with that, it would satisfy the elements of uttering and publishing, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any additions or?
I do not, and I have no objection to that finding, Judge.
All right. So based on the facts placed on the record and from the information stipulated to in the police report, the court finds beyond a reasonable doubt that on or about September 28th of 2022 in Madison Township in the county of Lenawee, that the defendant did commit the offense of uttering and publishing, and that she was in possession of closed account checks from Wilkes Agency, and without permission did utter and publish a check 109 in the amount of $492 through TLC without authority to do so, with the intent to injure or defraud, and knew that the document was forged or forged. So therefore, the court does accept the no contest plea. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Myers?
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Muir?
It has.
All right. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights, and she does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them, other than the sentence would be concurrent to whatever sentence she is currently serving. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. So Ms. Rosenberg, you have the right to be present in person for sentencing. But one of the good things that came out of the lockdown with the pandemic is you can also waive your right to be present in person and appear via Zoom from the jail or home or whatever it might be. So that's between you and your attorney. Mr. Myers, if you two would like to appear via Zoom, you can do that, or you can appear in person. So I don't know what you would think.
As of now, Zoom's fine, Judge. If we need to be in person, I'll contact the staff. But
That's fine. All right. So are you available on July 28th?
Judge, in terms of sentencing here, I was going to request, and I don't know if the court can do this. Ms. Rosenberg has an out date on the case that we want to run concurrent, July 4th.
So we need 6 weeks to do a sentence report.
Right, which is why I was hoping that the court might consider immediate sentencing instead of doing the PS.
On a new case, I can't because it's a victim crime.
Right.
They have a right to have a victim impact statement speak. So I can't waive a PSI at this point and do sentencing today.
I
For
understand.
outdate is July 4.
Yeah, and that's the case that we were hoping that this case, the sentencing in this case would be concluded as well. Is there a possibility that we might be able to grant?
Hold
Ms.
on,
Rosen-
hold on. Who's your PO on that case? Sarah Chesky. All right, so Ms. Walsh or Mr. Jones? Your update is July 4. Independence.
11 months.
Mr. Jones, 4 weeks. Would you think Ms. Teskey would be able to do a PSI in 4 weeks? She's currently has her, so it wouldn't be a new, I mean, it would just basically be updating the pre-sentence report.
What are you thinking, Judge?
I'm thinking, July 5 or 6. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to get the 4th. I'm gone. But maybe July 6th, that's a month.
Either of those days is fine with me, Judge. We just, the sooner the better.
Ms. Adams, could I do the 6th or 7th?
Judge, I don't have the book.
Oh, that's right, I stole the book.
Judge, I think if we do the 7th, that's probably plenty of time because, like you say, it's going to be an update.
Right, so let's look, see how bad my day looks. Not actually. Yeah, kind of. 6, nation trial. And I could do July 7 at 8 a.m. via Zoom.
I would be happy to do that, Judge.
All right, so sentencing we'll do July 7 at 8 a.m. So I'm gonna get you in before the rest of my day starts.
Thank you.
So it's a couple days after your release date, but okay. So we'll see you back on July 7th at 8 a.m. Ms. Rosenberg, Ms. Teskey will be over to talk to you. She'll update your pre-sentence report. She'll contact the victims in this case. And then be truthful with her about what happened, events. Well, actually, you don't have to talk about what happened because you pled no contest. But be truthful about your background and any updates on your life. And we'll see you back on July 7th at 8 a.m.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
Ms.
Judge.
Rosenberg. Thank you. All right, so let's see if I got this lady. Oh, Miss Hannibal, is that you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Judge.
Good job. All right. Mr. Goldstein, I have Miss Hannibal. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Lisa Marie Hannibal. We have 2 files, 22-21152FH, 23-21232. FH, I have David Goldstein appearing on both files. Is that correct, Mr. Goldstein? Yeah.
Your Honor, I am going to be representing her on both files. I'm not sure if you have the paperwork on 2152. My notes indicate that they were not sent until later. So if you don't have them, we will get them to you right away. But
Okay.
I am on all files.
That's fine. So I have Dave Goldstein appearing on behalf of Ms. Hannawalt, and I have Phoebe Neer appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Malaro, you're no longer on Ms. Hannawalt. So,
Question, am I still doing the misdemeanor then?
There's
Goldstein?
there's a felony down in district court that I've already substituted on.
Correct.
Okay, that's if that's what you're referring to, yeah, I'm taking that.
I am not, there's a separate misdemeanor trespassing. It's,
Okay, no, I'm not, I wasn't gonna, I mean, I wasn't aware of that. I will take that one also.
yeah, it's related to the home invasion.
Okay, yeah, I've got that.
Okay, great, thanks.
all right. Who do I have from the jail? Zachary Ladd? No. Who's at the jail? I have a gentleman at the jail. What's your name? I don't think he has audio. I have a guy at the jail in orange. What is your name? Can you hear me? All right, Miss Adams, will you let the jail know that whoever it is doesn't seem to be able to hear me? All right, so I have Phoebe Neer appearing on behalf of the people. So Mr. Goldstein, how do you want to proceed with Miss Hannawalt?
Your Honor, there is another felony matter that's set for an exam on the 6th of July. I think probably it would be best if we could get that matter to a prelim. Either it gets found over, or we can then put all the cases together, or it gets dismissed and we can go from here on these cases. So I'm asking for an adjournment till sometime after July 6th.
All right, I have after July 6th, my next available will be July 26th. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine, Your Honor.
All right.
This was previously adjourned in April for a forensic. Is that still something we're waiting on?
No, that was not my request. That was prior counsel's request. I didn't know that was done. We're not asking for that.
Okay.
Well, I have an order that's been done. So the order was dated April 3rd. So we do have an order. Ms. Hannawalt's going to have to appear for that.
Okay. So I'm not even on.
I can submit a different order to Ms.
Hold on. At the jail, can anybody hear me in the jail room?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, I've been asking his name like several times and he didn't respond. So yeah, what's your name? You're the only guy in orange. So what's your name?
Christopher Lape.
Pay attention to me.
Say it again.
Christopher Lape.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lake. We'll see you in just a second. So, all right, so Mr. Goldstein, I do have an order dated April 5. So that order is still in place on both of these files.
I will submit a stipend order to Ms. Meir to withdraw that, Your Honor.
Okay.
If that's okay with her.
Yeah, I have no objection.
All right, and I believe that's on both files.
Correct.
So, yep, it's on both files. So, thank you. All right, so I will set this over to July 26th at 8:30 a.m. And Mr. Goldstein, if you can do the stipend order to withdraw that motion, I will sign in upon presentation. Otherwise, she'll need to comply with scheduling if they call her. All right?
And I'll also do a stipend order to adjourn, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. So Ms. Hannibal, your bond's continued. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see, Mr. Lake. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher David Lape, file number 22-20901FH. Sir, you are Christopher David Lape?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you hear and understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you under the influence of anything that could interfere with your understanding of the proceedings?
No.
All right, so Mr. Lake, we are here on a requested warrant for probation violation, which alleges that you have committed the following technical probation violations. That you failed to report to probation since your release from jail, and that you were instructed to report on March 21 of 2023. Do you understand that's the requested warrant we have for your probation violation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I also have a failure to appear warrant for contempt of court, and that you failed to appear for sentencing on April 5 of 2023. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so sir, the maximum penalty on the probation violation for failure to report after release from jail could carry a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the contempt of court for failure to appear for sentencing can carry up to 93 days in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Lake, you do have a right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. So, Mr. Lake, do you wish to retain an attorney or hire an attorney? Or ask for court-appointed counsel?
For an appointed, please.
All right, so Mr. Lake, we will appoint counsel. Tell them that I'll move you to the end of my docket this morning, and I'll have you back later this morning, okay?
Okay.
All right, and I'll enter a not guilty plea in the interim, and then we'll bring you back at the end of the docket today, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, so I have so many attorneys. Let's see. Mr. Fry, we're waiting for your guy from the jail. John Glazier, do I still have you? Yes, Mr. Glazier.
Yes.
All right, I
ma'am.
have Greg Beaverson.
Okay.
All right, good morning, Mr. Beaverson, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Greg Darrell Beaverson, file number 2021-20238FC. I have John Glazier appearing on behalf of Mr. Beaverson, and I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Glazier, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, Mr. Beaverson came in to see me. It was either last week or the week before that. There's still quite a considerable amount of preparation that I have to do before I'm ready to set this for trial. There's a lengthy transcript which we found, but there's just a ton of police report and other things that we got to go over at some point. So I'd ask to set another pretrial in about 60 days, and hopefully we can set a trial date down or resolve the matter.
Would August 9 be okay?
Yeah, that'd be fine, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Meir?
Your Honor, at this time, I'm just asking that we do get a trial date on the books. This is such an old case, and I understand Mr. Glazier's about the third attorney who's taken it over, but just for the victim's sake, this has been set for trial before and has been pushed out and unable to go to trial for a number of reasons. And I also am not the first prosecutor on the case too. So it's one of those where, I had to get acclimated as well. But I don't know. I just think at this point, we need to stop with the adjournments and get it on the books for a trial if the court's willing to set a trial in this case.
All right. Well, I think what I'll do, I'm pretty much booked through trials through November. And he's not in custody. So Mr. Glazier, I will give you an August 9th pretrial at 8:30, and at that time we will set a trial. Trial will probably be December, January, but I'll give you one more pretrial before we do that.
Fine, Your Honor.
And John, if you want, I'd be willing to have a meeting with you on this just so we can go over and get on the same page.
That's fine. I have a ton of stuff that I'm going over. Sam was trying to get it ready and Sam had.
Miss Adams, could I get
That's
Mr.
the problem.
Diakos from the jail? Okay, all right, so you two will meet. Mr. Beaverson, we'll see you back on August 8th, I think I said, at, what was it,
August 9.
August 9 at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Glazer, I'm gonna try to get Mr. Diakos next.
Okay.
Okay, so I have Mr. Perez, and I think that is Mr. Sala. Mr. Sala, you are on Mr. Ricardo Perez Martinez. Let me bring him in. Mr. Perez Martinez, if you could start your video and unmute your device, please. Excellent, thank you. All right, this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Ricardo Perez Martinez. I have Stanley Sala appearing on behalf of Mr. Martinez and Phoebe Neer appearing on behalf of the people. This matter is scheduled for trial June 21st at 9 a.m. Have the motion deadline passed on June 7. And have we received the voir dire questions as well as the jury instructions? Have they been provided?
Judge, that's one of the things we need to address because the people filed and defense filed, and then I think defense filed a second set, but also filed an objection to the prosecutor's proposed jury instruction voir dire, and I had filed a second set. So I think everyone's filed them twice, but defense filed an objection to those and that's never been addressed.
Okay, so Mr. Sala, I can set that for a meeting. Let's see if I can get you guys in.
Yeah, it probably just needs to be a bench conference.
Yep. All right, so my trial Thursday is off. I have sentencings. So I can 39. So I could probably get you in any day next week. Have you two sat down and gone through each other's jury instructions together or no? Just checking.
No, we have not.
No.
Oh.
I think I spoke with Miss Hara on the phone about them and she basically said they weren't objecting to all of them, just some of them, and wanted theirs instead, and I don't know.
Okay, so Mr. Sala, I have you here on Wednesday, June 14th at 1:30 on Sackett versus Gray. Would you and Miss Meir be able, well, I could do Wednesday at 1:30. Or I could do.
I actually think that's going to be adjourned at this point.
Okay, so why don't we set a bench conference for June 14th at 1:30 to go over all the jury instructions?
Yeah. Okay. And there's two other things I needed to address. That back in, I want to say it was last January, there was a motion in limine to preclude the prosecutor from calling the victim a victim. And we had filed a response to that. And I think there were arguments on it. And I had reached out to Sierra and she indicated that that motion was denied. But our file does not have any sort of order reflecting that. I don't know if the court has one that they could send us. Or if they've not, I guess I just wanted that placed on the record that that was denied.
I have a problem with that.
Okay.
It was probably whoever filed the motion was supposed to do the order. Or we did, but that's fine. I'll have Miss McGrain do an order.
And then the last thing was defense had filed a witness list with about 23 witnesses. I had reached out to them and just asked for contact information so I could figure out who all these people are and what exactly they're going to testify to. And Miss Hara had got back with me and said that they were not intending to call very many of them, if any of them. So I had just asked for a subsequent witness list so we know exactly who their witnesses are, and I have not received that.
All right, Mr. Sala,
I can supply a subsequent witness list, Your Honor.
can you do that by the end of the week?
No, I'll have to be next week.
All right, would by July 14th or June 14th be okay, Ms. Muir?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, so we'll do an order on the motion limiting denial, and then I'll meet with both of you June 14th at 1:30 p.m. regarding jury instructions and anything else we need to address. Anything else we need to talk about today?
I guess just on the off chance that Mr. Perez Martinez does want to plead, the offer stands as of right now as a CSE second.
Oh, okay, all right, and that's a 5-year felony? 15.
I think a 15.
All right, so Mr. Ricardo Perez Martinez is charged with a life offense with a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison, lifetime electronic monitoring. And the offer is to plead to a CSC second degree, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 15 years in prison, along with other SOAR requirements. So, all right, Mr. Sala, if your client decides to avail himself of a plea bargain, just let us know in advance and we'll accommodate you as soon as possible. Otherwise, I will see you back for a bench conference on June 14th of the 23 at 1:30 p.m. That will be in person because we can go in the jury room and look through the jury instructions. Is that all right?
Perfect, thank you.
That's fine, thank you.
All right, very good. I did a scheduling order on the bench conference, so we'll see you back on that day. Does Mr. Perez need to be there, Mr. Sala? Usually we don't on bench conferences, but that's up to you.
No, I don't think he needs to be there.
Okay, very good. All right. So, Mr. Perez, I will see you on trial day of June 21st at 9 a.m. And otherwise, I'll see you sooner. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sala.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. Sarah, do you need a break?
If you want to.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Yes.
Who do I have at the jail?
Michael Spence.
Okay, well, what's your last name?
Michael Spence, SPENCE.
Okay, I asked for somebody else, but okay, Rhonda Underwood. Where's she at? She's in my waiting room. Miss Underwood?
Your Honor.
I have Mr. Spence. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Spence, file number 23-213-77FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Spence, and I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for arraignment on a felony child support failure to pay. Ms. Underwood. What?
I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, it's okay.
I don't believe we have a prosecutor since it would be an AG case.
Are you waiving arraignment or pleading today?
We would waive reading, Your Honor.
Okay.
And acknowledge receipt of the information and request for discovery, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so I will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Spence. And do you, how far out would you like a pretrial with Mr. Spence?
We'd like kind of, I guess, a quick one, Your Honor.
Okay, my next available pretrial is June 21 at 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we will set this for pretrial on June 21 at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Underwood, because it's an arraignment, my office will do the notice. So Mr. Spence, we will see you back on June 21 at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you let them know I need Mr. Dietos next?
Diego?
Dietos.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where's Joe Johnson?
That is June 21st, Your Honor.
June 21. Yes, ma'am. All right, do I still have Matt Murphy? Well, actually, Mr. Noe, you're awful quiet over there. Do you have your client in your office?
Judge, if I didn't have an awful lot of explaining to do, seeing as my client is currently in jail right now, it's my understanding, so.
Yeah, hold on, I'm sorry about that.
That'd be an
Cody
issue.
Bradley, he's on my list. You're all set, Mr. Spence, you can go.
Okay.
Just tell him I need Mr. Dietos next.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Noe, I've got one window and they'll line them up and bring them in, so
Thank you, I appreciate it.
sorry about that. All right, Mr.
worries.
Murphy.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, I have Mr. Johnson.
Could I have a breakout session with Mr. Johnson, please?
Sure. It's connecting the audio. Connecting. Send Mr. Johnson, audio connection, information. Mr. Johnson, can you hear me?
I can, ma'am.
This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joseph Anthony Johnson, file number 2023-21344FH. I have Mr. Murphy appearing. I don't know. Do I have Ms. Van Duzen or Mr. Murphy?
I believe it's my case. I didn't know if Dawn was on it as well, but I know it's my case too.
What's the name, Matt? Sorry.
Johnson.
Joseph Johnson?
I believe it's my case.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She turned her picture on, so I always think that means she's popping in on a case. All right. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Johnson, and I have Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter.
Your Honor, I'll just ask for another pretrial if we could. I need to speak to Mr. Johnson about the case further and then to speak with the prosecutors. There's actually multiple files that Mr. Johnson has, and it involves multiple prosecutors as well. But nothing's been resolved today, so I'll just ask you if we could do another pretrial if the prosecutor wouldn't object to it at this time.
So this is just one file. Does he have other files that are in circuit court?
That's what I was trying to figure out because he has another felony. It's actually up on the 22nd. So
His other felony case?
No, not the 22nd, the 14th, I believe.
Of June?
Yeah. Not sure why.
Yes, he does. All right, I can set this over to June 14th at 8:30 with that one, if you'd like.
Yeah, could we just do that, please, Your Honor?
Yeah. All right, so Mr. Johnson, I'm going to set this one over to June 14th at 8:30 in the morning with your other pretrial. So just zoom back in on that day, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And Your Honor, my office will do the stipulation order for that date. Thank you.
Say it again, Mr. Murphy.
I said my office would do the stipulation order for that adjournment for the 14th.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Thank you. All right. Mr. Glaze, no, what is this one? Mr. Malaro, do you represent Ms. Rice?
Judge, I believe he's here on Tiffany Schermacher also. I don't know if he represents Miss Rice.
He does,
Oh,
sure.
no. All right, well, I actually don't have Mr. Malaro. Oh, so I've got a lot of attorneys, but none of them are Mr. Malaro. Okay, he must have went next one. That's fine. Who do I have from the jail? Mr. Dietos?
Yes.
All right, this is in the matter of people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher Nicholas Dietos, file number 22-21180 FC. I have John Glazier appearing on behalf of Mr. Dietos, and I have Jacqueline Weiss appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Hold on one second. Let me check my breakout rooms. Sunderwood's looking at me. Okay. Mr. Glazier, how would you like to proceed on behalf of Mr. Dietos?
Yes,
Your Honor. He's got his hand raised, Your Honor. Maybe he wants to talk with me.
Can I talk to my attorney in a breakout room real quick?
Yeah, so that's why I was asking Mr. Glazier. So Mr. Glazier, I'm gonna put you guys in a breakout room.
All right.
And there we go. I'm gonna open those rooms. All right, I'm looking, attorneys, no defendants. So I guess I can start issuing some bench warrants while we're waiting. So I did that one. Mr. Murphy,
Yes, Your Honor.
in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caitlin Elizabeth Whiteman, file number 21-20579FH. Mr. Murphy represents Miss Whiteman. And let's see, Miss Whiteman was given a PR bond back on May 22nd and ordered to appear today, and she's failed to do so. So unless you have her in your waiting room.
I do
Although
not, Your Honor, as far as I understand it, I don't believe she's at the office.
All right, well, she has failed to appear, so I'm gonna issue a bench warrant for arrest. And I'm gonna set bond in the amount of 50,000 cash.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, was that 50 or 15?
50.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Baker's in custody. Mr. Ladd's in custody. All right, Mr. Murphy, what about Jacob Kelly?
Nope. And I haven't been able to reach Mr. Kelly. I was trying to, as well as Ms. Whitman as well, but nope. And I don't believe Mr. Kelly is in the waiting room at my office either.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacob Dean Kelly, file number 2023-21287FH. The court issued a bench warrant actually for Mr. Kelly back on May 8th of 2023 for testing positive for methamphetamine, amphetamines, and cannabinoids. From multiple drug screens. He then failed to drug test on April 10, April 25, and May 3rd. So we have that. He's also now failed to test on May 9, May 12, May 17, May 30th. He has not tested since his positive test a month ago. And which is sad because back in March of 16, he was doing well. So I already have it.
Judge, I have not heard from him since his positive.
All right, so I have bench warrants. Motion to appear. Bench warrants. Let's see. I already have 50,000 cash surety bond on them, so I will continue the bench warrants on that file.
Understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. So back to you. Thanks. Okay, Rhonda Underwood, are you still here? No. Okay. Matt. Gary Bowerman, is Gary Bowerman in jail?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I left messages with Mr. Bowerman, but I haven't been able to reach him either. If he's not here, I don't know where he is.
All right, let me look. I thought he was in jail, but okay. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Gary Scott Bowerman. I have a notice of hearing that was done by the court staff for today's hearing, and it was mailed to Mr. Bowerman at the address that he provided, and Matt Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Bowerman and Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Bowerman has failed to appear, so I'm going to issue a bench warrant for his arrest. I'll set bond in the amount of 50,000 cash.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. Thank you. Takes care of Mr. Bowerman. Jail. Okay. So, Mr. Glazier, you now had a chance to speak with Mr. Dietos.
I have, Your Honor. I'm gonna need to speak with Miss Weiss.
Ms. Weiss, are you here? Yes. All right, so Ms. Weiss, I am going to open up a breakout room and assign you and Mr. Glazier to a breakout room. All right. So it looks like the only people I have left are all in custody. I have one jail room, so we will be moving kind of slowly. Miss Applin, we can take a quick break if you'd like. Thank you. Miss Rice, you stay in the courtroom, all right? My bailiff will make sure you do.
Oh, she's got you in a breakout room. Were you in that last breakout room with me and the prosecutor?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't, I didn't get an invite.
All right, I don't
John,
know
you,
what,
John, you're not in the breakout anymore.
it says leave on it.
No, that's for your regular. You're in the regular room. The
Okay.
judge just off bench.
Oh, all right.
Yes. I'll get you one.
Right, we are back on the record. So, Mr. Glazier, if you had a moment to speak with Mr. Dietos.
I have, Your Honor. I've also spoke with the prosecutor, Ms. Weiss. Your Honor, I talked with Mr. Dietos at length yesterday down at the jail. And I thought we were going to ask to adjourn this out quite a while. He's had a change of heart since I talked to him, and I think we're probably going to work out a plea. The only thing I would ask is maybe we could adjourn it till next week. And Miss Weiss and I, part of the plea would be a killable to the guidelines. I want to see if we can agree what the guidelines are.
Okay, hold on a second. $15, $14, $15. Yeah, I can set this out to June 14th. So, Mr. Dietos, I will set your pretrial over to June 14 of 23 at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Glazier will run your guidelines and have a conversation with Ms. Weiss in hopes that this can be resolved. So, Mr. Glazier, you'll do the step in order to adjourn.
Yeah, I can do that, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Mr. Dietos, thank you, and I'll see you back next Wednesday. Would it be possible for you to tell them I would like Mr. Bradley next, please?
Okay,
All right, thank you.
you're welcome.
All right, I'll see you next week, Mr. Dietos.
Okay, Jen,
Thanks.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's so polite, Mr. Glazier, your people. All right, let's see. So Mr. Glazier's, that's all I had with him. I have no defendants, so I'm just waiting for the jail. I apologize.
Your Honor, I have Mr. Baker today, and I know he's not in jail.
Yes, he is.
I
thought he was.
No,
Hold on.
he's in that group home. Remember, we released him to the social worker and she got him in.
Hold on, Dawn, I don't even have the file, hold on.
Sorry.
Give me just a second. All right, so hold on, in the matter of, I thought he was, let's see, there it is. All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Darren Tashia Baker, file number 22-20898 FH, 22-20899 FH, and 22-20900 FH. I will, John Van Duzen appearing on behalf of Mr. Baker, and I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people. I have a letter from the Center for Forensic Psychiatry dated April 10 of 23 stating that the defendant was scheduled to be evaluated and he failed to appear for court-ordered evaluation. This is device support that your court's order dated. He failed to appear when able to do the evaluation. I do have, so I saw him, if I remember correctly, I just saw him like yesterday, maybe. Day before, walking around, but, he also was given personal service notice to appear today. Because he was in the courtroom, so we gave him a copy of it. To appear today, and he's failed to do so. Where did I see him? I saw him walking around somewhere the other day. So he failed to appear for his forensic, and he's also failed to appear today, Ms. Van Duzen.
Yeah, I see that his CMH worker, because he's in a group, Adopt Foster Home. And my understanding is it was supposed to be a locked home for him, so, but I'm not positive on that. So let me give her, can you give me a few minutes to see if I can get a hold of the caseworker?
Yes, otherwise I will issue a bench warrant.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, can I ask what your name is?
Harley, last name is Cool.
Say it again.
Harley, last name's Cool.
Are you here for a hearing?
Should be. It was scheduled in April and it was an in-person referral hearing. And they told me that it was.
An in-person what?
Referral. Well, it was before judge hearing, I guess, but it was today and I didn't.
Who's your attorney?
I don't have one. I was representing myself.
Referral?
It was to reopen custody and.
Are you sure it isn't a ref? All right, so I don't.
Yeah, a referee hearing.
Okay, so the referees are via Zoom.
It said in person. I requested in person.
Okay, so you need to go to the basement.
Okay.
The referee is in the basement, so take the elevator down to the basement level and check in at the window.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who do I have at the jail?
Cody Bradley.
Awesome, all right, so Ms. Underwood or Ms. Van Dusen, did you have any information on Mr. Baker or no?
Not yet, Your Honor. I'm still trying to find the number.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Noe, thank you for your patience this morning. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cody Joe Bradley. We have two files, 22-21174FH and 23-21328FH. This is the date and time. Let's see, we have substitution of attorney and parents in demand. So this is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. So Mr. Noe, how would you, let me see. Yeah, Alexander Bayonetto on behalf of the people as well. So Mr. Noe, how would you like to proceed today?
Judge, I've had some follow-up discussions with the two prosecutors handling this morning, Mr. Bayonetto and Mr. Sneed. I was wondering if I could have a breakout session with my client briefly to discuss the development, and then we'll pop back in.
Okay, so you need a breakout room today?
Please, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Bradley, I am going to assign you and Mr. Noe to a breakout room. So go ahead, you might go automatically, otherwise you may need to use the mouse to join. Oh, you went automatic. Okay. All right, Mr. Malaro, I have Ms. Rice present. So Ms. Rice, want to come up to the podium? All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Stephanie Lynn Rice, file number 21-20664. FH and 22-20716 FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Rice, and I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people. So, couple things. Ms. Rice, Mr. Coast has provided some information. On Monday, June 5, 8:49, Mr. Coast stated that Ms. Rice had a swab done on June 1 of 2023. She did not have the money to pay for it, but Mr. Coast did perform the test. Ms. Rice, just for future reference, small children, it's never really appropriate to bring them here.
I understand.
The drug screen returned positive for methamphetamine, 1,121 nanograms per milliliter, which is actually at a dangerously high level. She was here today for contempt of court sentencing for failing to call on a daily basis directed. In this case, it's another violation. Can I speak on this? Not yet. So I had released her on a pair bond again. I mean, I've taken her into custody and released her before. Mr. Malaro, I'm going to ask that Mr. Coast do a contempt of court warrant on the violation of drug testing. But due to the levels, I have some grave concerns. It would be my intention to take her into custody today. Mr. Malaro, I know that she will probably want to speak with you.
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
So I have one more file. She's in the jail. And if the court's willing, I'd like to take care of that case. And then I'd like to come over and maybe we can get some progress done on Ms. Rice's files, including what the court has just brought to my attention. So.
Okay. So Mr. Malaro, is your individual that's in custody in my court?
Yeah, yes, it's Ms. Schermacher.
So I have like 4 people lined up at the jail, and I've been never really sure who they're going to bring me. If you want to come over now, and as soon as I get Ms. Schermacher, you could, Zoom from and back if you wanted, or I can wait. It doesn't matter. Whatever is more.
No, yeah, I'll come over now, Judge. It's fine.
Right, because it could be an hour before I get Ms. Schermacher. I don't know.
I know I'm down in Judge Oldsaber's court, so yeah, I'll come over.
Okay, well, all right, Ms. Rice, have a seat.
Do you guys want me in person upstairs for that too?
You don't have far to go, so if you want to, yeah.
Yeah, it might be a good idea, Phoebe.
And maybe you and Mr. Malaro can chat in the jury room or something.
Okay.
I'll be over in a few
And Mr. Coast, you could probably pop back in.
Okay, sounds good, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, what is Nate Ellenwood? All right, no.
I cannot get a hold of the caseworker. I left her a message, so
All right. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan, back on the record with Darren Baker, he was given notice to appear. I'm pretty sure I saw him. Oh, I think I saw him at the parade memorial service over at the Veterans Park the day of the parade. So I've seen him out on the street. So I'm gonna issue a bench warrant for his arrest for failure to appear. And I'll set bond at 50,000 cash on each file. All right. Thank you. So that'll take care of Mr. Victor. All right, Mr. Elmwood, hello there.
Good morning.
So could I ask where, what are you here for?
Well, I'm pretty sure Harley set this up, but I told her we were having a little disagreement.
So, Mr. Elmwood, let me back up a little bit. Do you have a criminal case that you're here on?
No, ma'am, I'm here for a case about Paisley.
About what?
Paisley, my daughter.
Okay. So, okay, is it a friend of the court referee hearing?
I did get a letter from the friend of the court, yes.
Okay, so that wouldn't be in front of me. So in the chat box, I'm gonna send you the friend of the court Zoom number.
Okay.
And then you can Zoom in there. I think that was a lady that was just here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna send you. All right, I just sent you the Zoom number for friend of the court.
Okay.
So why don't you Zoom in there?
Thank you.
All right, bye. All right, we are back, Mr. Noe with Mr. Bradley. So, Mr. Noe, how would you like to proceed today on behalf of Mr. Bradley?
Thank you, Judge. I had a chance to discuss this matter with Mr. Bradley, the new development. We'll let you judges get a pretrial in about I'd say 60 days or so. For the prosecutor and have more discussions and possibly more discovery exchanges on both ends. So if we can get a date in about 60 days or so, that would be what we'd intend to do. And I discussed that with Mr. Sneed. I haven't yet with Mr. Bayonetto, but Mr. Sneed had no objection to this proposal.
Okay. So, Mr. Noe, I will set this pretrial over to August 9 at 8:30 in the morning. If you can do a step in order to adjourn on each of the files, so I'll need one for each file. Mr. Bayonetto, can you sign your name with permission?
He can, Your Honor, yes.
All right, very good. All right, Mr. Noe and Mr. Bradley, we'll see you back on August 9 at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Ma'am.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Bradley, if you could very kindly let them know, I would like to see, check everybody. Could I see Miss McKay or Miss Schermacher next? Do you mind telling them that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Noe, you didn't have anything else to do?
No, I'm all set. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, Mr. Noe.
Your Honor, my office reached Miss Whiteman. She said she was gonna try to zoom in. I don't know if anyone's trying to connect.
She has not connected yet, so.
Okay.
Judge, Miss Underwood had texted me about a Mario Amor. And it had said that she wanted to stipulate to an adjournment on that based on a forensic. Is that something, if you know, are we going on the record for it or are we just adjourning?
Well, it's an MDOC case. She had asked about it. MDOC, there was no writ. Let me see. I don't have where the prosecutor did a writ for today. So, and they might have, it's just not in my file, but, and has she, do we have a request for a forensic filed?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
see it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I don't. So I don't see that it was filed unless, wait, I have a competency report that already came in on April 25 in front of Judge Morgan. So it looks like it was already done.
So the letter I have from January 5 says that they were unable to complete it because of the backup.
No, I haven't. Are you talking about criminal responsibility?
Yeah.
Okay, I have competency report. Okay, let me see. Let me go back. All right, received your order for competency and criminal responsibility. Okay, so yeah, there's a delay. All right, so and that was in April, May, June, July. So I can set this. Mr. Murphy, do you want to stand in for Miss Underwood real quick?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Mario Cornelius Armour, file number 2023-21339FH. I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people, and Matt Murphy is going to stand in for Miss Underwood. This was the date and time set for pre-trial. We do not have a criminal responsibility report yet. I do have that letter in the file. So April, May, June, July. So why don't we set this for, what's he currently in prison for? What is he? What's he in prison for?
I could find out.
Got an armed robbery from 1997. Looking at Otis. I mean,
I think it was a assault of a prison employee and armed robbery.
okay, so I can set this out. We haven't done it yet. What if we did July 26th at 8:30 in the morning? And Miss Meir, if you can do the writ to get them here on Zoom, and Mr. Murphy, can your office do the step in order to adjourn?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Murphy. And Miss Meir, can his office have your name signed with your permission?
Yes.
That was,
All right.
what was the date again on that? July
26th at 8:30 in the morning.
26th, okay.
All right, excellent. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Right. Ms. Underwood, Mr. Murphy very kindly stood in for you on Armor. I know you're in front of Judge Olsaver. We do not have the criminal responsibility. I set it out to July 26th at 8:30, and Mr. Murphy said your office would do the stip in order to adjourn, and Ms. Mayor will do the writ.
And that's on Mr. Armour, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, and my apologies for being in the other court.
Well, you should know better than that, Ms. Underwood. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
I know.
Okay. Is that all you had, Ms. Underwood?
Do we have, do we have Christopher Lape as a pickup?
Yeah, I moved him to the end of the docket because I have like 6 people in jail and I was trying to get them done first. So I think from the jail, I only have, well, I have 1, 2, 3 people I need to see before I get Mr. Lape. Unless, Ms. Adams, if you can call the jail, Mr. Lape's probably on the first floor. So they might be able to get him separately for me because he's a pickup.
Okay. And is it somebody specific you need in that room? Or just
I asked him for one of the females, Schumacher or I told him I asked for Schumacher or McKay, but we'll see, or Matt or anybody.
Is Mr. Malaro here now?
He must be because I saw Miss Rice step out.
Okay, I'll head up then.
Okay. We got somebody on a Samsung.
Honor?
Yes.
On Mr. Baker, I did get a hold of his old now caseworker. She said that he is still in the AFC Cornerstone one, which is a lockdown, and that he is doing really good. He has a new caseworker, so the new caseworker must not have got notice of the hearing.
Okay, I can set this out. All right, I won't issue the bench warrant. I'll withdraw the bench warrant, and I'm gonna set this over for another day. Let's see. Let's set it out to June 28th. And that should give you enough time to get a hold of the new caseworker. So
Yeah.
June 28th at 8:30, and if you can do the stick in order, that would be great.
Yes, I will do that. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so I have a lady that zoomed in on a Samsung. What is your name, please?
Caitlin Whiteman,
Spell your first name.
Katelyn,
Last name.
Whiteman, Whiteman.
All right, so I'm going to quash the bench warrant on this case, or withdraw the bench warrant. All right, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Caitlin Elizabeth Whiteman, file number 21-20579 FH. I have Matt Murphy appearing on behalf of Ms. Whiteman, and I have, oh, give me a prosecutor, somebody. I'm gonna go with Christopher Fleming, because he's the only one I got hearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed on Ms. Whiteman?
Yes, Your Honor, we do apologize for Ms. Whiteman being late. We're asked just to set another pre-trial. I need to have Ms. Whiteman in my office to speak with her. Did you, Ms. Whiteman, did you contact my office and schedule an appointment or no? Did you just talk?
I talked to Leo just shortly ago.
Okay, could you just, after we're done here, could you call again and schedule an appointment to come in and talk with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so just a brief adjournment whenever the fits the court schedule is what I'm asking.
Okay, so I will set this over to July 5. So Ms. Whiteman,
Your Honor,
write it
I
down.
apologize. I won't be available on July 5th.
July 26th
Thank you.
at 8:30 in the morning. So Ms. Whiteman, write that down. And then you need to zoom back in on July 26th at 8:30 in the morning, all right?
Okay.
All right. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, we are just waiting for jails. All right, Ms. Whiteman, go ahead, make sure you write that date down and we'll see you back.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, we're ready, so we'll see. And we're ready, no.
Just want to say that you never put it before. Great, great. Yeah. Yeah. No, I have not. Now, it was unit sales or what space do I can put out? Or tower or what's that? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sure, he's gonna have to be that escorted for a second there. He really doesn't like Judge Shingler, but I guess not many people do.
Unconventional. Did you talk to Derek Post?
Yeah.
I think we got it.
Once he talks to her, once he talks to her, she might run. So just watch her.
Oh.
Maybe she won't, but she has before.
The PC. Second copy. Jeremy Stevens. Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, pencil, pull out. Have to hit.
All right, Ms. Adams, could you have Mr. Post come in, please?
He was doing a,
Okay.
Huh?
he was doing a drug test on something.
Oh, okay, he might be busy. All right. So, Ms. Rice, why don't you come up and we'll take care of you. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Stephanie Lynn Rice, file numbers 21-20664 FH and 22-20716 FH. I have Salvatore Milaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Rice, and I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people. Darren Post is present, is our pretrial services coordinator who did administer another test today. So we are here on a couple things today. one thing we are here on is a sentencing on a contempt of court, as well as a pretrial conference on the underlying file. Ms. Rice is charged with aggravated stalking, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine. We were previously set for trial, and now we are again set for, we are set for trial for August 1 for a one-day trial at 9 a.m. So with regard to first the pre-trial today, Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I think if I understood Ms. Meir correctly, do you want me to do it or you want to do it? Okay, Ms. Meir is gonna tell you what we're gonna do.
Yeah, so, well, maybe, I guess I'll have Mr. Millar correct me if I'm wrong, but the people are in a bit of a, I guess, uncomfortable situation or bad situation in these cases. In preparation for the trial, I did meet with some of my witnesses, the victims in this case, and they are quite frankly just fed up with this at this point. And I, obviously I could make them come in and testify, but at this point, I don't think they really want anything to do with this. So it does put me in a difficult situation. So what I am asking of the court is a bit unconventional, but I think their exasperation with this case and with Ms. Rice does have to do with obviously the time delays, the fact that we've been set for trial before, I think even a year ago, and Ms. Rice has, on a number of occasions failed to appear. She now has these new drug screens. So I guess what I'm asking for the court, again, it's unconventional, but that I will dismiss these felony charges as well as the PPO violations and ask the court to sentence Ms. Rice to the maximum on the contempt of court. I think that would accurately reflect the delays in this case and the fact that I do have to dismiss because of the delays in this case that were mostly at Ms. Rice's cause, just her, again, not appearing, these positive tests. And that's what I would ask of the court. I don't know if she would plead guilty to those contempts or if the court would find
She
her
already
guilty.
pled guilty to.
Okay, perfect.
Sentencing
Yeah.
today.
And Mr. Coast did advise me that the drug screen today was also positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Malaro, are you going to object to people dismissing the underlying file as well as PPO violations?
Judge, no objection to any of that. The only other issue is clarification. I did inform Ms. Meir that I would be arguing the issue of how much time
On the contempt court?
that the court would give. Yes.
Okay, all right, so, very good. I will move to the issue of sentencing on the contempt court. So I look through this file, go through this file. Waiver, discovery. Adjourn. And this has been going on for about 2 years now, and it's a serious case, so Ms. Rice, we should be grateful that it's being dismissed. Let's see. Trial release order. Yes. Are there new charges from this alleged incident that occurred the other day?
So there are new charges pending in district court that have already been filed. I think it's a trespass, but it might be just an assault.
I think it's an assault battery.
And then Mr. Coast advised us of an incident yesterday that may also have new charges. Those will obviously be dealt with in district court separately.
Okay.
And I, again, don't want to dismiss these charges, but I think at this point, it's best to move forward and not make Ms. Rice's ex and son testify if it's not necessary.
Okay. All right, so with regard to sentencing today on the contempt court, are you ready to receive that, Mr. McLeod?
And Your Honor.
All right, do people have any position on sentencing before the court proceeds?
Just like I said, I do think the maximum on the contempt of court would accurately reflect the delays in this case. Time is often in favor of the accused, and it certainly has worked in Ms. Rice's favor in this case. But that being said, I think the maximum on the contempt is more than fair, given her number of positive tests, including today being positive. And Given, I could go back and see how many times this was delayed based on her non-appearance, but I don't have that figure right in front of me. On both cases, and as well, that's not even counting the district court where she had failed to appear and was arrested in district court before it was found over, so, thank you.
Mr. Millar, anything you'd like to say on behalf of Ms. Rice?
I would, Judge. Judge, I have represented Ms. Rice, I think, almost since the time I started the public defender's office. So I'm very well acquainted with Ms. Rice and all of her legal troubles. That being said, Judge, none of this is an excuse for her behavior, but 3-4 years ago, it's very, well, first of all, this, and I think this court's also well acquainted with Ms. Rice as well. Whatever happened prior to that is certainly played a great deal on her emotion, how she handles things at an emotional level. And I think it, as we all know, when we let emotions take control of our decision-making process, we usually make bad decisions. And Ms. Rice is engaged in counseling and therapy and will probably need it for a very long time to help her get past that area where she lets her emotions take control of her decision-making process. That being said, there are times where she is she has some good attributes. One is she's a good mother. And I know that this court could argue and not actually argue, but state that how can you be a good mother if you're using drugs that you shouldn't be using? And there's no debate with that. But by all accounts, through her CPS case, which I handled, and through today, her primary focus for the last 3 years has been her children. She has 2. She is the primary caregiver. The fact that CPS has closed the file on her shows that she's committed to continuing to be a good mother.
That was quite a while ago.
About 10 months, maybe. I think it was December, October. But she has continued to make strides to getting housing, getting the services she needs. Guardian, the last time we were in on that case, had no issues with her as her parenting skills. Ms. Rice faces many challenges, Judge. She was in district court yesterday and I was present for that hearing, and the judge, spoke to her, and one of the things that's apparent is Ms. Rice has so much burdening her. Children, these pending cases, which I think if we can get them, if these are finally resolved today, will be a great help in getting her past that. Remove those stressors that I think will help her life settle down somewhat. She can spend more time focusing on her children. I think she tends to put too much emphasis on things and uses that as a way to justify some of her behavior, such as not appearing in court, not attending certain things. And I certainly understand the state's point of view on this and their situation. But I think this is a good resolution. I think that the longer she's in jail, the more risk her children are. And so with all of that being said, Judge, and knowing Ms. Rice and knowing that she actually has a case, she has to be in district court on this assault charge this morning yet. But I told her to come here first and she did. I'd ask the court to use its wisdom and fashion the most appropriate and lenient sentence as to any jail time as it possibly can. That would be our request on Ms. Rice's behalf.
Ms. Rice, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to go stand at the podium for me.
3 years ago, when Eleanor was born, at Toledo Children's Hospital, her meconium came back. With methamphetamine in it. And I had not touched it. I had never touched it. And so they did a very extensive and intrusive test through ProMedica. Eleanor had zero withdrawal, zero. They monitored her for 6 hours. She had zero withdrawals, not one withdrawal did she have, none. Because I wasn't using that drug, but the drugs that I take through my Dr. Noble, and Dr. Noble told me and my case manager this in her office, they cause a false positive. When Memphis was born, his meconium came back with the same exact test results, but they didn't even go through what they went through. They didn't call CPS. CPS never got called because they knew that it was verbatim the same exact as Eleanor's. My kids will lose everything, and I have worked really hard to get where we're at. We will lose it all. When I went to jail this last time, I lost my daycare for my kids, which is why I had to bring them to court. I reapplied. I started all over. I started all over all of my stuff again. This thing downstairs that happened, I need to be able to fight that because it's a lie. I didn't put my hands on her. She put her hands on me and my kids.
All right, so ma'am, I don't want you to talk about any pending cases. Because
Sorry.
everything you say can be used against you because this is a court record. All right, so don't talk about events that occurred on new cases. Say that for your parents.
I know that my kids will be in foster care if I go to jail. I don't have anybody to watch them. Their dad has not seen them in over 2 months. I've climbed out of my trenches. I've climbed out of them by myself. I've worked by myself with them in tow, and we need each other, and they need me, and I'm not using.
Mr. Coast, you administered a test today to her, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she test positive for anything?
Tested positive for the THC, amphetamines, and also methamphetamines.
Now, we know she's on Adderall, but her levels were extremely high, so that would be more than, and it would cause a positive
Correct,
test.
and to her previous test was a swab that was actually sent to the lab. I did talk to the lab. They said the only thing that will make methamphetamine turn positive is methamphetamine. Going through a false positive because of Adderall.
True.
All right, so Ms. Rice, now I realized that you completed a CPS case, you had your children placed in your care, and the case was closed in October. But what I will tell you, what I've seen is you go downhill since then. I'm talking now, not you. So on April 17th of 2023, there was a motion affidavit and bench warrant because you failed to call into pretrial services coordinator. They're imposed on a daily basis. There were no call-ins from 4/10 of 23 to today. It's date on April 17th. Let's see. I have a drug screen collected April 6th of 23 that shows a positive test for methamphetamine. So then, let's see, we'll go to the next one. On May 16th of 2023, you failed to appear for warrant on May 16th of 2023. Issued a bench warrant. Let's see, this one was filed April 18th. Gotta call in. Let's see. Appear. Bench warrant arraignment. I have a failure to appear for bench warrant arraignment on May 16, signed by me on May 16. I have pretrial release order, you comply with CMH recommendations and medications. We've got multiple tests that were sent in on a swab showing your levels are dangerously high. So
when pushing
No,
my dog.
Ms. Rice, I'm talking. So, Ms. Rice, I have great concerns about your mental health, your physical health, and your just defiance from day one of the court's orders, and also a downhill spiral that I'm seeing in your behavior. You know, court's orders are in place, and while I have great sympathy for your trials and tribulations, I also feel that you have taken advantage of that to some extent, trying to manipulate the court. But based on just the overwhelming issues I've had for you, with you and your failure to comply with court orders, you know, I think you got off very lucky today because the charges are being dismissed. But I am going to sentence you to court or to jail for 93 days.
Please don't do my kids with me foster care, please.
Well,
please,
get
Judge.
credit for any time you've already served.
Can you please
You're all
just
set.
give me
Thank
a
you.
shot, please,
No.
Judge, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you, my kids are gonna be in foster care. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I can't do 93 deals. Can I please, can I bond out? Can I pay? I can't do this, please.
You're gonna get credit.
Please. This is why I don't come.
You're gonna get credit.
Let me go, please.
No.
Please let me go. Okay, but I can't breathe. I can't breathe this way. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I need some water. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Please, can I have some water? I can't breathe. No, I can't walk. I can't walk. No, I can't. I can't walk like this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't talk to me like that. I can't do it. I can't breathe.
You're not ready to use it.
I'll take it off.
But I've heard that for 4 years. My kids have been one of those.
3 years. Every time we're in court, I hear that.
Take a break, make me tired.
No, can I get the answer to stuff? Okay, bye.
Why not? Hi, Miss McKay.
Hello.
How are you? All right, so. I think that's Chris. Is Chris still on? Chris Fleming, it's still on, and I have.
Am I talking to my public defender? I can't really see you.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta turn my video on. Okay, so I'm gonna call your case now. Can you state your full name for the record?
Takaya Serena McKay.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Takaya Serena McKay, file number 22-21047 FH 23-21323 FH. I have Dawn Van Dusen appearing on behalf of Ms. McKay, and I have, is it you or Chris Fleming?
It should be Mr. Fleming.
And I have Christopher Fleming appearing on behalf of the people. So Ms. Van Dusen, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, I need a breakout room with Ms. McKay.
Okay, so I'm going to open up a breakout room, Ms. McKay, so you can speak with Ms. Van Dusen. All right, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna close all those rooms. All right, so Ms. Van Dusen, let me turn my video back on. Ms. Van Dusen, how would you like to proceed on behalf of Ms. McKay?
Your Honor, you have both files there, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, she is going to plead to an added count of domestic violence second on both, and with the original charges being dismissed with a Killebrew and no further upfront jail.
Do you need an amended information on that?
I don't know, so hold on. So let me look here, on file number 22-21047 FH. What is this? That, all right, so let's see. Look for the felony information. I think the last, all right, so on the felony information, I have domestic violence, third offense. So on that file, on 21047, she's going to plead to a 93 or a 1 year domestic violence second.
Yes.
All right, so I'll need an amended information on 21047. Mr. Fleming's not responding.
He just texted me, so I'm gonna, I guess, fill in for that, and I just requested amended information on those.
Okay, and then on file number 23-21323 FH, she is charged with count 1, assault with intent to do great bodily harm. So we're gonna add an added count 2 domestic violence second offense on that file as well.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So 2 count 2s, 1 year, and we'll get an amended information today, but Ms. Van Duzen, do you have any objection to proceeding without having that amended information yet?
Not at all, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. McKay, you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. McKay, and what was the Killebrew, Ms. Van Did you say there was a Killebrew?
To no further jail time. She's already did 90 days.
Okay. All right, that's what I thought it was. Okay, would that be okay. Is she being released on the contempts, or what's holding her now, the contempts?
No, she did 90 days on the contempt, Your Honor. So it's just these files here that there was a bond on these ones too.
And what will happen on those today? Is there an agreement on that?
I'd hope she'd get a PR bond on them.
All right, so you're going to ask for that, but that's not part of the agreement?
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Fleming, do you, okay. Okay, so Ms. McKay, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to a count 2 domestic violence second offense on each of these files that carries a maximum penalty of up to a year in jail, but with the agreement that there would be no further jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Fleming, is that no further jail now? The sentencing would be set out like 7 weeks, or is it no further jail at the time of sentencing?
You know, Your Honor, she's done about 90 days at this point. I'm fine with it if it's now.
Okay, okay, so you understand, Ms. McKay, upon entering the plea, you'll be released from jail today?
Yes.
Okay, now, are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that she has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we have a Killebrew agreement with regard to no further upfront jail, but Ms. McKay, or I'm sorry, but neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. Van Duzen?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Fleming?
That's correct, Judge.
And Ms. McKay, as far as you're aware, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so on file number 22-21047FH, Ms. McKay, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about March 16th of 2022 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of domestic violence second offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, and Ms. McKay on file number 23-21323FH, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about February 4 of 2023 in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee that you did in fact commit the offense of domestic violence second degree?
Guilty, Your Honor.
So, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? I'm sorry,
Yes,
I yawned. Did you understand that question? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. Van Duzen?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fleming?
No, Judge.
All right. Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be other than you would be released from jail today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand you may very well be on probation for a period of time at the time of sentencing? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is it your own choice to plead guilty on both these counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Ms. McKay, on file number 2023-21323FH, you're entering a plea to an added count 2 domestic violence second offense. So, on February 4th of 2023, we're in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee.
Yes.
And were you in the presence of someone you were dating with the initials of JY?
Yes.
Okay, and at some point, did you put your hands on her or assault her?
Yes.
Did you push her, pull her?
Pushed her. Yes.
Okay, and you have a prior domestic violence, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, do we know what the date of the prior domestic is?
Should be on that information, even though it's not amended.
I have a second offense notice for now.
Oh,
Oh, maybe on the other file. Hold on, maybe it's on the other file. Oh, wait, it's on the other file. So, Ms. McKay, you have a prior domestic violence. I'm looking in the other file. Oh, on June 8th of 2016 and February 6th of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes.
So you would agree this is, okay, so that satisfies the second offense. Are you satisfied with the plea on this file, Mr. Well, let me ask Ms. McKay, when you pushed her, you did that without her permission?
Yes.
And it was your intention to assault her, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, Mr. Fleming, are you satisfied with that plea?
People are satisfied in that.
All right, so let's move over to file number 22-21047FH. Ms. McKay, on March 16th of 2022, in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
And at that time, were you also, again, in the presence of your significant other with the initials of JY?
Yes.
All right, and let's see. At that time, did you assault her as well again?
Yes.
Tell me what you did.
I just pushed her, grabbed on her.
Okay. grabbed on her and pushed her?
Yes.
All right. And you realize that is an assault, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
And you didn't have permission to lay hands on her?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and you would agree she felt like she was being assaulted?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with that plea, Mr. Fleming?
Based on the previous convictions, yes, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. And you, once again, Ms. McKay, I asked you earlier about 2 prior domestic violence convictions, and you agreed that you had those convictions, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Van Duzen
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Fleming?
Yes, Judge.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of her rights. She does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in interest of either of them other than the parameters of the Killebrew plea. I'm going to refer this matter, Ms. McKay, to the district because it's a misdemeanor. Your probation will be handled by district court, okay? Not up here on the 3rd floor, it'll be on the 1st floor.
Okay, and I forgot to tell you that. I mean, I know y'all probably know, but I am on probation. I just owe fines on my probation though. I don't got nothing else to do. So would it be my same probation officer that I report to?
Probably. No, actually, probably not. So the probation officer that handles my cases is Mike McCarron, I believe. So Ms. McKay, I am going to release you on a PR bond today, but I have 2 things that you need to remember. And Ms. Adams, if you could put it on the paperwork for the jail. 1, not tomorrow, but on June 15, you need to report to district court probation between 8 and 10 in the morning, all right?
Okay.
You need to check in and tell them you're here to report on a plea that you took in front of me for them to do the pre-sentence report for me. When you meet with them, be truthful about your background, the events that occurred, and they'll prepare a report and then they'll submit it and your attorney will get a copy of it and review it with you in advance.
Okay.
The other thing is when you get out of jail, you need to call Ms. Van Duzen's office and leave your contact information so that they can get a hold of you to review that. I'm going to set.
Is all that gonna be in my paperwork?
Well, your paperwork will have you need to report to district court probation on June 15th between 8 and 10.
Okay.
And that our sentencing will be July 28th. Ms. Van Duzen, are you available July 28th for sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
So our sentencing will be July 28th at 8:15 in the morning. That date will be on your paperwork from the jail. Now, Ms. McKay, you have the right to come in person or you can appear via Zoom.
Okay.
Do you want Zoom that day or come in person?
It's whatever works for you, it don't matter. Because every time I do Zoom, I forget to get on there. So I think if I come in, it'll be much better.
Okay, so we'll put that in person. So I'll mark in person. So Ms. McKay, remember, next Thursday, go to district court probation between 8 and 10. Make sure Ms. Van Duzen gets your updated contact information, and then our sentencing will be on July 28th at 8:15 in the morning in person. Ms. McKay, you are not to have any contact with her. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because if you have contact with her and violate your bond conditions, then you know you're probably looking at jail, right?
Yes.
And we don't want that. So one of the terms that I'm going to end up ordering for probation, as you probably know, is domestic violence counseling. So keep that in mind. And Ms. Ibarra, I mean, have no contact with her, and then also don't, your bond conditions will be that not to commit any crimes, not to use any illegal controlled substances, and no contact with JY. All right?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Van Duzen, anything else?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right. So we'll release you on a PR bond today. All right, Ms. McKay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Hopefully, Mr. Fry. I don't know. All right. If I can get from the jail, if you can hear me. I have, what do I have left? I need Zachary Ladd or Tiffany Schumacher. And then first.
If they're not gonna go get the Zooms.
Back there, you wanna go back?
Yeah.
Did you already do Whiteman?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because.
Yeah, that was adjourned
she
to
showed up.
6:21 at 8:15, PB.
Hey, Sam? Oh, sure.
And then Gary Bowerman, did you do that one? Yeah, here. Didn't appear. All right, then I think I'm good. Ladd and Schumacher. Right, that's it? Just Ladd and Schumacher? Just, okay, that's what I got too.
Have a seat, Cliff. Have a seat.
I'm sorry, I don't know who's gonna be next, Mr. Fry.
That's fine.
Are you on that? No, just covering it. I have down Amanda.
Okay.
I don't know.
Been shuffled around.
It might have been Isaac's and he might have reassigned it because we're trying to give Amanda and Alex more felony.
Okay.
So it might have been, I know we signed it. Dan got jury duty for the July-August panel. We did.
Right. Yes, Mr. Page. I'm ready. Hit the button. Is ready with the state? Okay. Hey. Take right out like. You got it. Balls right now. Purple. All right, now we got all kinds of lockdown. Oh my God. Bag of Buddha, all right.
I'm gonna take this back number again.
What's that? Yeah. I don't get it. It is, yeah. Some of the courses are a little bit more like player friendly, but some are really challenging.
Just wanted to remind you guys that YouTube's on.
Thank you, judicial assistant.
Hold up.
I just called the jail commander. That helped.
Judge, can we get a pretrial date from Miss Adams on Mr. Ladd, and we can do a stip in order to adjourn that one? We're waiting for some district court files anyway.
Want to adjourn it without the defendants? I mean, I did call the jail commander, find out why we don't have people. So I'm assuming he's working on getting people.
Judge, I just got a call. They're getting Mr. late because he's on the first floor and then they have to pull somebody out for lunch, from lunch on the others.
Well, I've got Ms. Schumacher, right? Ms. Schumacher?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Malaro, is that you? All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tiffany Renee Schumacher, file number 2023-21338FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Schumacher. I have Phoebe Meir appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for a pretrial. Mr. Malaro, how do you wish to proceed on behalf of Ms. Schumacher?
Your Honor, I had a conversation with the prosecutor yesterday and this morning, and I'm going to ask to adjourn this out. And I can explain that to Ms. Schumacher tomorrow at the jail when I come to visit some of my clients. But that's what we're going to request today.
Okay, how far out do you want this adjourned?
Like 2 weeks should do it. We could get 2 weeks.
June 21.
That'd be fine, Judge.
All right, so June 21 at 8:30, and you'll do the stip in order to adjourn, Mr. Malaro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, Ms. Mayor, can you sign your name with permission?
Miss Arnold's name, but yes.
Oh, I had Miss Arnold earlier, she gave up, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Ms. Schumacher, we'll see you back on that day. Thank you.
I'll be over tomorrow, Tiffany.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You good? We're done.
Do you have anything else, Mr. Malaro?
I do not judge, but Miss Underwood's here, so.
Yep.
All right, I didn't know, I didn't see anyone, so I thought I'd stick around.
All right, thank you. And you have Zachary Ladd.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that one's Mr. Price. I thought he wanted this different order, sorry.
Yeah.
And that one's Amanda's case, so I just texted her to see if she could log in so that I could go.
I got Chris Fleming
On that one?
He's on Zoom.
Sounds like Miss Wagner's case, Judge.
Right.
What are you on for, Chris?
Zachary Ladd. Are you here for Ladd, Mr. Fleming?
I just haven't hit the leave button.
Well, don't go anywhere now because
I don't have to go. I just wanted to. I can stay for it.
Judge, with your permission, I will hit the leave button.
All right, Mr. Malaro, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Did you apologize to Mr. Fleming? Oh, no, he's gone.
Well, I'm still here, Judge.
Oh, I got the jail window. All right, this will probably be Miss Underwood. This will probably be Mr. Lee. And I'm not sure if Mr. Leaf has new charges, Miss Underwood, just so you know.
Thanks, Your Honor.
You? I got it. You take away. You're in that corner. Take away. I'm afraid I know it now for you to call me.
Okay. Sounds like a can.
What? Hit the button and you expect to say so.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Lake, we're back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Christopher David Lake. File number 22-20901FH. Miss Underwood, we have a couple things. One is a failure to appear for sentencing on April 5, and also a failure to report to probation upon release from jail on March 21 of 23. So looks like we released him. He was supposed to report to probation. He failed to do so, and then he failed to appear for the sentencing. I'm not sure, but I think potentially there may be new charges. But Mr. Lake, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. Underwood real quick. So go ahead and have a chat with Ms. Underwood. Underwood said, I have to go back to Judge Olsavers. No, you don't.
No.
I've got you. I'm keeping you. No.
I didn't have any cases with Judge Olsaver today. So right here.
Getting a delay with the jail too.
Yeah. I had a lot with you, so it was nice to be able to handle mine today.
Yeah, one place. Yep. Oh, Ms. Underwood, you're back already?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let me bring him back. There he goes. All right, Ms. Underwood, you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Late.
Yes, Your Honor.
No. I would like to go back to the breakout room, please.
Okay. There you go. I open the breakout room. All right, close in the breakout room. All right, we are back on the record again with Christopher Lake. So, Ms. Underwood, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Lake?
I have, Your Honor. We would ask the court to enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Lake's behalf and put this matter over, maybe even between next Monday and next Wednesday, Your Honor, so we can ascertain whether, not long, just so whether we can ascertain whether they're a new church.
Well, I also, Ms. Holly, are you able to verify? I don't think that he appeared for a pre-sentence interview. Is that correct?
No, what his deal is he didn't show up for a violation of sentencing, a violation of probation sentencing. So I haven't seen him since he was released from jail. In March, and then he didn't show up for sentencing.
Okay, all right. So, Ms. Underwood, how far out would you like this adjourned?
Just early next week, Your Honor.
I don't. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I could set it over to 8:30 on June 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Lake, I'm going to set this over to June 14th at 8:30, all right?
All right.
And
I won't be here, but somebody will take it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
all right,
you.
Mr. Lake, you're all set. Thank you.
Judge,
yes.
we do have a PSI for that other one. Were you going to sentence them as well or no?
I can do that next Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe I'm done.
Thank you. All right, so.
Are you? Amanda might be logging in now for that. Amanda's on LAD. I think she might be logging in now. But I'll wait until she is ready.
Okay.
I'm looking for official little. She has a little symbol, assistant prosecutor on her screen.
Does she? I missed it.
Yeah, she's all fancy new lawyer. All right.
Just because I
Thanks
hate
to
my picture. Oh, you're welcome.
Brian's here, so.
All right, thank you.
Don't tell the judge that.
See you, Judge. Have fun Friday.
Bye.
There you go.
All right, Mr. Ladd.
Yeah.
All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Lawrence. Alan Ladd, file number 22-21116. FH, I have Brian Fry appearing on behalf of Mr. Ladd. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Fry is appearing on behalf of Mr. Ladd and Amanda Wagner on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Fry, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court adjourn this matter. Mr. Ladd has 3 felonies that are still pending in district court. He has a probable cause conference in those tomorrow. So we would just ask for time to see if those are going to get bound up here or not. If they are, I imagine that would happen in the next couple weeks or so.
All right, so do you want me to set this over to like July 5?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna set a pretrial for July 5 at 8:30 in the morning. Mr. Fry, in the event he either waives or is bound over on those new files and the dates before that, if you want and you feel like you need all the files together, if you call Miss Adams, she will add the other files to the docket. All right?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Daly is representing Mr. Ladd on those, but I will let his office know because it would make sense to have it all at the same time.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Ladd. Thank you, Ms. Wagner. Everybody have a good day.